Hey y'all, story time. How did I ended up moving from Monroe back to Detroit? Well, first of all, I moved to Monroe so my son and my grandson, because my son is very smart in school, so I moved there so they could have a better chance getting a better education and be somebody in life. We left the hood, Detroit, and went to a little suburb town. Well, my son decided to hook up with the Caucasian kids out there, and he made friends in like a 2 block radius. So all his friends was in a circle, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks in a circle of our home. I worked and I roller skate. My son was 16, 17 years old. He's a boy. I'm not staying at home babysitting him. And then when I would ask him, did he want to go with me? He would say no. Reason was he would stay home, have company, throw parties, have sex. They drinking beer, liquor, weed, gummies. I found all this type of stuff in my house. I've had females take my clothes, leave their clothes. I've found body wash, lip gloss, weed, pre-rolls. Um, yeah. So my son turned my house into a party house. So every time I left to go skating or to go to work, which is often, he would have people at my house. He would, I put a lock on my room. He would remove the lock, cut off the internet so I couldn't see the Ring cameras. He started breaking windows in my house so he could break in when I locked them out. He left a girl in my house, went to work. I came home, found her in his bed, sleep. Uh, I worked so hard to get that house and get the things I had in the house. I had a beautiful house, beautiful furniture. He took a pre-roll, burnt a hole in my couch, took a knife, cut it around my table, cut X's on my wall. Like, my grandson ripped holes in my screen. He would go in the refrigerator and eat cherries and throw the seeds down the heat vent. He has boo-booed on my basement floor, boo-booed in pee-pee in drawers. uh, uh, my son was leaving out, coming back when he felt like it, being very disrespectful, not helping out. So I figured I would move to Detroit to get him away from those kids. So I moved back to Detroit, which was a terrible mistake. I ended up moving to the hood, ghetto, in a house that was ran down and should have never been lived in. I left my beautiful, quiet block, my beautiful, quiet house. I had a reputation of handling my business and being on a mission, but my son wanted to play victim and tell everyone that I was never home. So they got the impression that I was a bad mom that was never home to a 16, 17-year-old boy. Uh, so I moved away from there and moved back to Detroit, which ended up being a blessing because I ended up being threatened and the house was just through. Shouldn't nobody ever been living there. And so I got approved to be able to leave the state and come to Texas. And that's where I'm at now here. So I have an inspection tomorrow and I should get my keys Friday to move in. So now that I'm away from my son and my daughter, you would think life is good. Working on the weekends like usual. Haven't done my taxes, so I'm too turned up. Nope. Boom, 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 boom. Here comes the grandson. And I know the feeling because I remember being in Alabama and being homesick and missing home and missing my mom. So I understand that feeling, but the way he went by doing things, like just tearing up stuff and being bad and doing things every day to the point that he would be able to leave, is he pushes a person button. He pushes you, pushes you, pushes you, pushes you, pushes you, pushes you. And when you reach a breaking point, then he want to play the victim role. And I think his mother coached him into doing this, because for an 8-year-old to think like this, I don't know, that's mind-blowing to me. And it kind of makes me don't want to be around you, because I'm like, what else in the hell do you got going on in that brain that you're trying to cook up? But he did it with the stepmother when he was with the father. I understand now, and I see now, like, he kept pushing her, pushing the buttons and pushing the buttons and pushing the buttons, and she ended up knocking him into a closet. And then when you hear the story, you'll get pissed off, like, whoa. But walking in them shoes, I understand. He pushed that girl. She a young girl. He pushed her and he pushed her and he pushed her until she knocked him into the closet and said, forget this, you going back to your mom. Because that's the point I'm at. And I'm like, I don't want to put my hands on him and end up in no Texas jail. I'll just send him to his mama and let her put her hands on him, and she can end up in a Detroit jail. Because for whatever reason, it's as if that the children, I guess the grandkids too, like, they don't want to see me happy, and they don't want to see me with nothing. And I believe it's best that I just get far away from them. I can't save him anymore. I can't help my children anymore. I gotta save and help myself, you know. And then what gets me is people be like, poor Nick, poor me. What about me? What about the hell I'm going through? What about that? What about the hell I've been going through? When I'm gonna get my break? When I'm 59? I'm declaring it right now. I'm gonna live for me, and I'm gonna take my life back, and I'm putting my foot down. It comes a time when the mama bird pushes the baby bird out the nest, and you either flap your wings and fly, or you hit the ground and die. And that's how I'm feeling right about now. Time to flap your wings, children and grandson, or hit the ground and die. Because what you're not gonna do is kill me. I got maybe 30, 40 more years on this planet. What, I'm supposed to die miserable and an old lady dealing with somebody else's responsibilities and somebody else's problems? This girl doesn't have a care in the world. She's in Detroit with a rent bill, a utility bill, and a cell phone bill. A care in the world. I'm here getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, getting her kid ready, taking them to school, dealing with the after school, doing homework. He spent a year with the father and still came back and couldn't tie a shoe. Like, what are y'all doing? You ain't teaching them shit. I ain't supposed to be cussing. Anything he learned from me. Any common sense, anything good, any rules, manners, morals, anything good he learned from me. He learned everything ghetto ignorant from them. One thing I don't do is have children around random men. I don't have children around my friends. I don't claim fake family members. Anybody that's dealing with her, first of all, I didn't have sex with Bill. Bill is not her father. That's a friend of mine that I paid to watch her, that she chooses to live with whenever things get rough for her. That's her safety net. I never had to live with one of my mother friends. I never had to. borrow money from one of my mother male friends. I never kept up with my mother male friends, her baby daddies, none of that. I don't do the backdoor and stuff. I don't do that. Uh, she gave me her child, and then it went into, I took them. And now the lie is, whenever she's trying to get them back, I take them and leave again. Lies. You just child friend, best friend, I feel so sorry for you, because she lying to you. She counting your pockets and borrowing your money, spending it up, making plans for you that you don't even know about. This goes out to everyone. If a person, she messed over everyone who had her back. My mother, she messed over her. Me, she messed over her. Her own kid, she messed over him. Her friends in the past, she messed over them. So this is to anyone in the world. If a person mess over their parents, mess over their child, mess over their auntie, anybody that had their back, they mess over them. It's just a matter of time before you get messed over. Anybody she can manipulate something out of, or she can get them to do something for her, they're going to be mother. They're going to be her father. They're going to be the kid's auntie. Yeah, so you can babysit. Y'all keep on being that girl fool. My bus is about to stop, and I'm getting off of it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Just a granny raising a grandchild, trying to figure this life thing out. Trying to find my happiness. Trying to shake these kids and their problems. Thank y'all.